doing? Let's do a PSA reveal. So this is 16 cards that I just got back from PSA a few hours ago. This, I think the grader this time was pretty much probably average. Wasn't awesome, but wasn't the worst either. Considering these cards that I sent in, I knew were going to get lower grades. I didn't think there were any 10s in here whatsoever, and there aren't. That being said, the condition of these cards are really good. They're a little bit more above par than the average. The only reason why some of these really got low grades is because centering. And I knew that going in. Everything else besides centering is pretty much perfect. And you'll see. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that snuffle. All right, here we go. First one, Creepy Carol, PSA 7. You see why I got a 7? See how it's off center there? Yep, that deserves a 7. That looks like it's about a 7. Okay, we're gonna put that right there. Moving on, we've got Flat Pat, PSA 9. Centering looks just about the exact same. Just a little bit worse on this one. See, this probably would have got a lower grade, but even though it's pretty off-centered left to right, everything else is just perfect. Corners are perfect, I mean untouched, basically. Centering is perfect on the back. Don't forget about the back, people. The back matters just about as much now at PSA as it does on the front. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. West Mess, PSA 9er. A little bit left to right there. This would have been the closest one to a possible 10, but I didn't think it was. I didn't think a single one of these would, but that was okay going in. See the centering on this one? Same thing, left to right. Other than that, it's almost perfect. That's why I got a 9. All right, same with, same with this one. Here's Smelly Kelly. Left to right, just a little bit. A little thicker over here. And we got a 9. Come on, man. There we go. All right, next one, Stone Sean. As you can see, a little bit thicker over here than it is on this side, so the centering is not perfect. And because of that, I got a 9. Totally expected that. No big deal. Okay, now here comes a bad one. Brainy Janie. She's really off-center there. Look at that, really off-center. She got a 5, so there must be something different here. Something about this card that, I didn't see going in. It might be there's a little bit of wear right up here in this corner, a little slightest bit of rounding. See that tiny little bit right there? That's probably all it took. And she's grossly off-centered, so combine those two things, that's a point. The off-centered right here is probably 3 points, so that's 4, 5. Yeah, that's why I got a 5. That's the worst grade I got. I know that. We got a second-hand rose here, off-center. And I'm thinking, if you look closely, this little corner right here looks like it's been touched before. I didn't see that. I wouldn't have sent that in. Actually, this one I did send in because I knew the pop count was real low on it. All right, I'm going to show you something here. This guy right here is, boy, he's all dusty. He was a game changer for me, okay? Guys, you got to get yourself one of these. What this is a magnifier. I'm going to do something really cool that I don't think anybody's really done on YouTube yet. And this should really help you guys understand kind of the method behind my madness and the process that PSA goes through when they're inspecting your cards. First thing is, this is a 14X or a 40X. I don't remember, excuse me for not knowing, but turn that on. Now watch this. See, what you can do is you put this up there and you put your eyeball there and blah, 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 blah. You can see it real close. Now watch this though. I'll do it for you all. And let's look at that. Let's look at this Brainy Janie real quick, okay? And we will see if we can. There we go. We'll see if we can see anything in that corner. Yep. See that corner right there? It's been touched. A little bit of rounding. Let's go the other one down here. Perfect. Oh, that's like a something on top of the case, I think. Yeah. So, and don't forget, if you see like a print defect, You know, there might be another spot there that's not supposed to be there. That's going to cost you a point. So just always be aware of that. So yeah, this little magnifying glass right here thingy, man, it was a game changer. Really, really improved my grading scores. All right, moving on. We've got a Brutal Bridget Glossy PSA 9er. That one looks pretty centered. A little tiny bit thicker on this side and this side. So I guess that could be the reason why they didn't give you a 10. Give me a 10. You know, they don't just give out 10s anymore. They just don't, you know? So you have to bring forth a quality card to get a 10. You can't just bring like a card that's a 9. Well, I might get a 10. No, you have to have a flawless card, you know, before you send it in to PSA. If I find anything wrong with a card, I'm not sending it in. I'm just not, because it's not worth it. PSA 6. What is that? A little piece of cloth or something? Or a little piece of... Ah, here, let's do this. Let's figure out what's wrong with Bent Ben. Let's see this corner up here. Mr. Bent. Yep. You see that? Something there. Fabric, or not fabric, but some pulp from the paper has just kind of come off. It's a little rougher right there in the top corner. Let's see the other side. Pretty good. Sorry, it's hard to hold up both of these things at the same time. Okay. So that's why the Bent Ben got a PSA 6, you know? I believe it. That's proper grading. Although a little bit thicker over here, so that's 1 point. A little bit up top to bottom, that's another point. So we're at, right now, the 8th best it could do. That one brings it down to a 7. So the 7 is the best this thing could do if you just look at it kind of straight on normally. There's probably one other thing. That's why they docked it 1 more point, and I can't get mad at you, PSA. You did the right thing. You graded that the right way. PSA 8, Uzi Susie. Now this one's grossly off-centered, but there must not be a single defect anywhere on this. Well, I'm sure there might not be, because this 8, see how grossly, you know, offsides it is left to right. That's probably all it took for it to get an 8, because there's probably nothing else wrong with it. If it was centered perfectly, or much better, it would have got a 9 or a 10. Okay, here we go. What's this one? Harry Carey Glossy. 7. Same thing, left to right. That's enough for a 7, I would say. All right, we've got Warren, PSA 9. Card's probably perfect, other than the left to right. Don't forget about the back, guys. That has to be centered too. A little bit up top to bottom here, that might have played a role in it. I doubt it, but it may have. It very well may have. Either way, we got a 9er on that. I'm happy with that. Melton Melissa, PSA 7. Same thing, left to right. I think the other one was right to left, but these 1985 Garbage Pail Kids, well, just Garbage Pail Kids in general, are notorious for getting centering off, or for having bad centering. I guess their standards weren't as high at the printing places. These were cut and printed at, as they are on some of the more modern cards, I should say. All right, PSA 9, another one, probably perfect, other than a little bit left to right. That being said, I knew that going in with every single one of these. In this whole submission, I knew that there would be no 10s, that, you know, I'm hoping for 9s. I was hoping to get 9s. I wouldn't have been surprised if they got 8s, to tell you the truth. But that was okay with me on this one. So we got what? These are all 9s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 9s. 9 out of 16. That's pretty good, considering I was thinking they were going to all be 8s, 7s, and 6s. 7, 7, 8. Yeah, this one's left to right. This might have some wax on it or something as well. Oh, this is the one that had the pulp. That's right. We went through this one. Okay. 8, 7. Savage Stewart. That corner up there looks a little questionable. I don't know. Didn't know that was even there. Let's take a look at that. Every once in a while, I think PSA might do things on their own. No, it's not as bad as I think. It's a little bit of a bend little bit of a bend to it. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can tell if you look at it like this. Through the magnifying glass, it didn't look like there was any bend, did it? See, you can't really tell that there's a bend. But you take that off, and there it is. See, I think they might have done that themselves, because I don't think I would have submitted this whatsoever had there been that bend. But you never know. Maybe I did. Brainy Janie got a 5. Yikes. Here is another example of, I believe this is their PSA's market manipulation, if you will. They, the last one was Creepy Carol, got a 7. Left to right there, big time. This Brainy Janie here, there's a few cards that they grade harder than other ones. In every set, every series, every anything, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, Garbage Pail Kids, Star Wars cards, it doesn't matter. There's always some that they just grade way harder, and they do it on purpose. They have to. There's no reason for them, because if you just graded the card based on its merit alone, then it would be a different game. But you can't have, for instance, a print sheet. You know how they print them all on a big sheet, a big piece of paper, and then they, you know, slice them up. The ones on the edges or whatever, on the edge of the printing paper, those are notorious for being off-centered. Now, for instance, if this Brainy Janie happens to be right here in the middle, okay, so she's pretty much, majority of the time, going to be cut somewhat better than the ones on the edges, most of the time. So if she's printed right in the center and they cut her out, why is it that all the ones on the edges have a much greater chance of getting 10s? If you look at the statistical numbers, you look at the pop count, and then the one in the center, even ones around it are grading much more 10s. Then all of a sudden you get to Brainy Janie, who's right in the center with all the other ones that got lots of 10s or whatever, the pop count's high on 10s. Then all of a sudden Brainy Janie just has, you know, 15, pop count of 15 for PSA 10 versus, we'll just say, for instance, this is just for shits and giggles, we'll say Grim Jim was right next to her in the printing on the piece of paper, and Grim Jim has, we'll say, 150 PSA 10s, pop count of 10, pop count of 150 at PSA 10. Brainy Janie has a pop count of 15 or 9 at PSA 10. And then the one over here to this side of Brainy Janie, we'll say it's, for instance, Warren. We know it's not, it's a different set, but whatever. We'll say it's Warren, and then Warren has a whole bunch of, you know, pop count of 135 10s. So 135 10s, 10 or 15 10s or 9 10s. And then the one next to it has, you know, 150 PSA 10s. That's that pop count for that one. I mean, come on. That's absolute market manipulation. They do it all the time. Notorious for doing it with older vintage cards. Is it fair? No, not at all. Not one bit. Why do they do it? I really don't know. I really don't know. I think, I don't know. They should just grade a card based on its merit, on what it looks like, on what its qualities are. Not, oh, because this one's Reggie Jackson and it's, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, we're going to grade this one 5 times harder than other ones. You know, that's just, I don't think that's cool, but it is how it is. There's a video somewhere on YouTube. If I can find it, I'll put the link in the description, where it's this gentleman who has broken down, I believe it's 1989 Fleer, I could totally be wrong. I think it was 89 Upper Deck. Okay, so the Griffies. And it might have been other sets or series as well. But what he does is he breaks it down and he shows you like the whole print sheet with all the different, you know, 1 through 100 cards or whatever, however many cards are on that print sheet. And he circles which ones are the popular ones. And it's, you know, Reggie Jackson, George Brett, or whatever. And everyone else on that sheet has much higher pop counts. But when you get to Reggie Jackson or you get to Brett Favre or George Brett, you have pop counts that are really, really, really low. And when you compare a PSA, say for instance, a PSA 6 of that George Brett card, and you compare it to a PSA 10 of another card of, say, like a no-namer, like this guy's a no-namer over here, you compare the two, they almost look identical. And I mean, that's just, there's no other way around it other than it's market manipulation. You know, I think they think that they're supposed to do that, I guess, that rather than just grading them based on their merit alone. But it is what it is. That's the name of the game. You know, if you want to get in this game and get your cards graded and only get them graded with PSA, then, you know, you just have to expect that. And, you know, that's just how it is. Unless you're some, you can't. That's just how it is. All right, enough said. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching this. This is a PSA reveal. I've got, I send anywhere from, I don't know, last week, a week and a half ago, I got, I think it was 9 submissions, different number of cards, anywhere from 10 to about 36 cards in each submission. I got 9 of them back that week. Then last week, I got 4 submissions back. And then I just got this one back on Friday or Saturday. No, Friday, 2 days ago. I'm sorry, 2 hours ago. And I've got 3 or 4 other submissions coming next week. And I think after that, I might have like a couple weeks where I don't have anything coming in. And then I got a whole bunch more coming in. So basically what I'm trying to say is I send a lot of stuff to PSA to get graded. So this isn't anything new to me. This is, you know, it's just how it is. Yeah, I think these were about 16 or 18 bucks a card. All in all, I round every one up to about 20 bucks is what I expect, you know, I spent on it. Not counting the card itself for grading, you know. So even if it's at 16, then you got to account for shipping there and then shipping back, and then divided that by all the number of cards you have, and then insurance on the graded cards. You're looking at right about 20 bucks a card, you know. So I hope this was helpful for any. Sorry about that. Anyhow, I hope this was helpful for you. See what I mean? I hope this was helpful for everyone out there. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, whatever. It's cool, man. Yeah, I'm on Whatnot, by the way. My name is Antique Vinyl. So if you're on Whatnot, check me out sometime. And it's not just Garbage Pail Kids, guys. I've got around, I mean, I do this for a living. The percentage of Garbage Pail Kid cards to my sport cards are, they probably maybe take up 8% of what I have. Maybe I'd say 7 or 8%. The rest are all baseball, basketball, football cards, and hockey. So, yeah. Anyhow, thanks for watching this video. Check me out on Whatnot if you don't mind. That'd be cool. Thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. It's cool. Thanks a lot. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Cool. All right, bye.